Here we are in sunny Gibraltar, would you believe, and we've just fitted new water rails to one of a pair of 8LXBs on this boat. It's all going grand, fine, everything's working grand. But I would just like to take you through some of the grief that we suffer doing work like this, and the joys, some of the grief and some of the joys that we suffer working on Gardner engines. We had quite a lot of hassle with the old rails on here. So we'll take you through that now. Thanks a lot.
Here we have an overview of the engine room, nice and spacious, quite neat and tidy. So we'll have lots of room to work here. It'll not be too bad at all. So our initial attempts are, of course, to simply tap the water rails and try and prise them up in such a way that we can save them. Not successful in this case, I'm afraid, but that's our first attempt there. And here you can see that we've given up trying to lever, and we're just simply using a cold chisel. With a small angle grinder, we cut a slit down the side of the stud. You can see that being done there. It works very well, and then we're in effect able to just split the whole top rail open with a cold chisel. Here you can see the cold chisel at work. We simply split the alloy down the side of the stud, and it breaks away in quite neat pieces. It means that the studs then can be extracted and reused if need be, only if need be. And it's a good idea, of course, if we're reusing the old studs to run a 5/16 BSF die nut down them, just to clean up the threads and take out any dirt and damage that's there.
Okay, here we have a new top water rail, and there's just something about it that I find really quite intriguing. You'll notice that you have the full length of the alloy here for the stud to come up through. Now the disadvantage of that is that when you get corrosion there, it really is significant, and you'll see this earlier in this video where I've shown you stills, and the corrosion here is really very significant. What I don't understand is why they didn't cut this away here, or even why they didn't leave that tube shorter and have a simple set screw going down through there, or better still a cap screw. But they probably didn't have cap screws in those days, and also I'll admit it would make the whole thing a bit wider, but it would have saved a lot of hassle. Of course, you can also save a lot of hassle by treating the studs with copper grease before you put the water rail on, and we do that all the time. Now, on some Gardners, I have seen this cut away here, but I think it's largely on LW engines. I have an example of that here now. You'll see here in this one, look, it's been cut away, so there's much less chance of getting a serious corrosion problem. Now, I'll admit that's a cast iron top water rail. Maybe there's technical reasons for that, where it can't be done in alloy. I'm not too sure. But there you are. We can press on now with the rest of the show.
Here the new water rail has been tapped down into place. You have to be careful with this because the studs have to be lined up perfectly underneath. But you can see there that it's gone down very, very happy into position. It's really important to have a corrosion inhibitor in the freshwater circuit on these engines, otherwise you'll be in trouble. Of course, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. Here we are on the way, bright sunny day in Gibraltar, well out to sea, and we're pushing the boat on hard. Here you can see some of the crew and the rock itself, and if we home in on the gauges, you'll see that the oil pressure is fine, temperature is fine, everything's normal. Here you can see we're more or less motoring flat out. We're pushing the engines hard on here in the test. Very nice view of Gibraltar. Of course, here I am, up to my usual devilment. I'm playing a tune by O'Carrollin there called Miss McDermott's. It's really a classical piece. So here I am introducing the team that worked with us out there in Gibraltar. Lovely set of guys, absolutely super. First of all, we have the big horse of a Spaniard, Ivan, very strong guy, very helpful. Then we've Paul, very experienced engineer, who come up with some brilliant ideas, and his colleague Dave, who is also very helpful and really very easy to work with. And last but not least, our own Irish horse, Big Andrew Mackenzie, who accompanied me out to Gibraltar and was a very significant member of the team there. So that's all I've got for you, and on we go to the next one.